Hello everyone and welcome back to another Final Fantasy Friday. I am Jim the editor, and with me as always is my long-suffering best friend from Pokemaniacal.com. It is of course Chris. Hi Chris.
Hello.
Should we get into it?
I think we probably should.
Alrighty then.
Where are we? We've just crossed the river.
We have just crossed the river, and we are just chilling on the
shoop off.
on the. There we go. On that thing, and yeah, just hanging out. Waka's on this side too.
Waka, at your service.
What's he got? Nothing worth buying.
Unsurprising.
What's Orin want?
Guardiuna.
Yeah, thanks.
That is what we are doing.
Well, I mean, right now we're just wandering, right?
Hmm.
What's this guy want? That's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. It's a Blitzball player, yeah, Miyu.
I guess when you're a celebrity, that's just the kind of thing you get.
At times.
Hmm.
Miyu's okay. The Crusaders have a fairly decent team. I can only remember 3 of their players, but they're all quite good.
Sorry?
The Crusaders, so Miyu's a Crusader. Quo is a Crusader, he's back in Jose. And Durin, the best keeper in the game, who starts as a free agent, is a Crusader as well. And I suppose Biggs and Wedge might be. So they've got a fairly
Sorry,
decent.
I was confused because I didn't think the Crusaders had a team.
No.
But,
Like, you can make a fairly
I see
decent
what you
team
mean.
of Crusaders.
Right.
Get that chest later. Oh, look, it's a dead
Good
person.
morning, Anna.
What's this dead person want?
Oh, probably just to be left alone and be dead. You
You're
should leave them.
not dead?
Oh, not
Oh
dead.
no.
Clearly, we're not very good at guarding.
Hmm.
Bloody 16-year-olds these days just getting naked at the drop of a hat.
Mm-hmm. Titus clearly interested to see how far this is going to go.
I mean,
Riku. You're Riku.
I remember being a prepubescent boy thinking the exact same thing. So yeah. Also, yeah, hi Anna.
Yeah, you don't look so good. What happened?
You beat me up, remember?
Huh? Oh, that Machina? That was you?
I mean, how was he supposed to know that, to be fair?
Oh,
Hmm.
that really hurt, you know. You big meanie.
Well, you probably shouldn't have tried to,
Wait.
kidnap
but
the summoner.
You attacked us.
Nuh-uh.
Good point, Titus.
It's not exactly what you think.
That's not a
No,
sentence you say very
it is
often.
pretty much what he thinks.
I mean, it's not. He doesn't know anything about it.
And you could say that.
Pleased to meet ya. I'm Riku.
She did attack them,
Yuna,
though.
Lulu, I told you about her, remember? She was the one who helped me before I was washed up on Bhed. She's in our bed.
Yeah, good save, Titus. Good save.
Wow, so you like all your life. What luck meeting you.
Good thing Walker is thick as pig shit.
Hmm.
I swear that headband must be far too tight for him and cut off circulation.
Okay?
Waka.
Huh? What?
Does he still have the headband in 10 2? I don't remember.
I don't remember either, but he's a bit of a moron in 10-2 as
Girls
well.
only. Boys, please wait over there.
Right. Sorry,
But
Waka.
at least he's no longer cartoonishly racist.
Hey, spoilers, Chris, spoilers. Let us enjoy our cartoonish racism for as long as we can.
Sir Orin, I would like Riku to be my guardian.
Oh, this person we just met?
Who tried to kidnap you.
Oh, they don't know that yet.
Look at me.
Oh, okay.
Open your eyes. As I thought.
No good?
Are you certain?
100%.
That's pretty certain.
So, anyway, can I?
If Yuna wishes it.
Yes, I do.
Riku's a good girl. She helped me a bunch.
Riku's not a good girl. We know this from Final Fantasy X too.
The more the merrier.
Definitely not a good girl.
Then I'll just have to be the merriest.
She certainly is that, though.
Even though Waka had always hated the Bhed,
Strange. Even though Waka had always been blind about his
he
racism,
never realized Riku was one of them.
he continued to be blind about his racism. We're gonna have some mandatory battles here.
Ooh, a treasure chest.
There we go.
So when Auron asks Riku to open her eyes,
Yep.
it's because she has the spiral pupils, right? He can tell that she's Bhed. Yeah.
Well, he can tell that she's related to Yuna, I think.
Yahoo!
Oh, okay.
I think that's the thing.
Yeah, I was wondering what his stake in
You
that
should know,
was.
I'm scary when I get mad.
But yeah,
I'm gonna
if
use
he's
that
guessed
item I
that
just
she's
got on.
Yuna's cousin, then that kind of makes sense.
Yeah. Because Yuna has, of course, the weird, like, mixy eyes. Choose that, and something we don't need a lot of, that. Her overdrives are so overpowered. If you know what you're
What
doing.
did you just do?
I do not know what I am doing.
Combine items
Yeah,
to use them
neither
like
do I
this.
really.
It's not that tough, really.
But yeah, like, she's quite overpowered. Riku's basically the reason why you can do no sphere grid challenges. Because by the time you get towards the end of the game, some of her, like, she has overdrives that basically give you invincibility. Like, you're immune to all attacks.
Good stuff.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
want
yeah,
that.
yeah. Doesn't break the game or anything. It is weird though, like, as a lot of Final Fantasy games go on, and this is no exception, your characters get so overpowered that they have to kind of invent unfair bosses in order to make it a challenge. Like bosses with ridiculous, like, one-hit KO moves that they do from the very start. And you'd think it would almost just make more sense to, you know, not make the characters that overpowered.
Nah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really understand it. I don't really
If
understand.
everyone is overpowered, no one is overpowered.
But everyone's not overpowered, right? Like, if we wanted to, like, you can get to a stage where you can basically one-hit kill Sin. And it doesn't sound like a thing that should be possible.
Yeah. But I think in any game that allows level grinding, you're gonna have that.
I mean, unless you wanted to make it kind of super linear that you have to be a certain level to do certain things. And I suppose, like, something like Riku's does mean that no sphere grid challenge is possible, right? Like, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. And there's no equivalent in Pokemon. Well, there is, actually. I've just remembered, there is.
Oh?
Have you seen it? So there's
Level up any
Just
Pokemon?
watch.
yeah. So there was a challenge that I saw from a YouTuber named Johnstone, I think. And yeah, he did a challenge, which is you can't level up any Pokemon. So basically, you're just relying on wild Pokemon you caught from like the most recent areas in order to win the game.
Kind of like N.
Yeah, kind of. It's certainly an interesting concept. I don't think it's particularly like the fact that you can do it is interesting. I don't think it was a video that I got particularly into. But we've already done review. Someone else some experience.
Question from Anaphysic. Is Final Fantasy X a game in which you can use debuffs on bosses, or is it one of the common they're always immune games?
The latter.
Yeah,
I
there's
believe.
like a few bosses that are vulnerable to a few status effects. Like some of the early ones you can use darkness or things like that.
But they're even immune
for
to
the
like
most part,
gravity for the most part.
Mm.
Which, yeah, it kind of defeats the point of having them, right? Because there's very little tactical advantage to using them. There's maybe one battle in this whole game where you actually have to use a little bit of tactical nous. And if you don't know what you're doing, you will die every single time.
Are you referring to Unalesca?
Yeah. Do you remember what happens?
I do.
Good. We'll let the people wait on that one, I think. I remember just being astounded the first time that happened to me. It's just blatantly unfair because you get no warning. Can you imagine the game developers though, when they come up with that? Like, who's the evil bastard that gave the green light to, and all their characters die without warning?
I mean, I'm not even that opposed to something like that. I am opposed to having that fight after a really, really long cutscene.
Oh yeah. Don't even talk to me about that. That's something that the Final Fantasy series struggles with full stop. Is the huge cutscene into the big boss, where you'll by the end of it you're word for wording the cutscene and mashing buttons to try and make it go faster, knowing full well that it will not make it go faster.
Yeah, I've seen some more recent games. Like I don't know about the Final Fantasy series specifically, but some games I've seen that have situations like that where the game will recognize if you've attempted the boss before and reloaded, and just show you a short version of the scene.
I mean, that would be nice. I haven't played any of the Final Fantasy games since 13. I haven't played any of the 13 sequels. I hated 13 with a passion.
You've said many times.
It was a terrible game. It's basically a movie in which you sometimes mashed buttons through the middle of. 12 was interesting, at least. 12 was fairly linear, giant open world, story of about a respectable scale compared to the end of the universe scale things that a lot of the Final Fantasies deal with. But yeah, it was fine. It was fine. Battle system was terrible, but it was fine. And I haven't played Final Fantasy 15 or Final Fantasy 7 remake yet. I may play 7 remake. I'm still not overly keen on the battle style, but it looked like they fixed some of the things that looked wrong with 15.
Okay.
Still very Kingdom Heartsy though.
Well, a lot of people like Kingdom Hearts.
I know.
There'll be something to it.
But those people can play Kingdom Hearts. right?
No worries. Take that.
Like, I don't understand morphing the game into the same thing that your company already owns.
Mm.
So, like, I mean, allowing for slightly more dynamic battling is, you know, it is something that can be said for it, right?
It is.
Oh dear. What have you been up to this week, Chris? The blog posters haven't heard from you much.
Yeah, what have I been up to? I don't remember. Oh yeah, no, I remember. Yeah, we were recording our presentation for that conference.
By we, you don't mean you and I.
No, I don't mean we. No, I'm presenting with someone else from your university at St Andrews.
Yep.
At an online conference in Dublin. Well, I mean, I say in Dublin. Everything is going to be online. The presentations are all going to be on YouTube, so everyone will be able to watch it.
Oh, cool. So you'll have more YouTube content out there.
Yes, I suppose that's one way.
Branching out in terms of your collaborators.
Yeah, so people will see me on video talking.
Oh, wow. Face reveal.
It's going to be terrifying, I'm sure.
So what's the talk on?
We are talking about Pokemon and the history of science. We are comparing Pokemon's sort of premise and gameplay and story to the way naturalists did science, essentially, in the 17th, 18th, 19th centuries in Europe, which is what Eleanor's PhD thesis is on. She studies botanical gardens in the 18th century.
So you're actually taking part in an academic conference that builds on your Pokemon skills rather than your skills as a classicist.
Yes.
And they said this would never get you anywhere. Well, I mean, maybe they didn't say that to your face, but they definitely said it to me.
Who did?
Your mother. Mostly your mother.
Oh, well, no, to be expected.
Oh dear. No, that's really cool. That's really cool. So when is the clip likely to come out?
It should be the 20th or the 21st of November.
And will it go up on the blog?
Yeah. And I'll post links. I'll tweet stuff, whatever.
You'll use the Twitter and...
I will use all my channels to make it known to people.
That's really cool. That's really cool. I really look forward to taking a look at what you and Eleanor have come up with. Funnily enough, I've never met Eleanor.
Let's see on top.
Oh, you had now.
No. She thinks she's seen me walking down the street but was too embarrassed to say hello.
I did see that interaction on Twitter.
Yep. So she thinks she's seen me and I have not seen her.
I was sure that you'd met up or something now, but I suppose I must have been mistaken.
No, and of course I don't even live in St Andrews anymore, so
No.
So yeah, chances now are fleeting that I'll see her
Yes.
before she hands in, because that's soon.
Yes, where are you now?
I'm an Anik. Of course, that's spelled like the English spell all their place names, and by that I mean incorrectly. It's Elmwick, just outside of Newcastle.
Good name.
Yeah, it's something about the River Elm. What the name means, I think.
I completely missed all of that. Your sound cut out or something.
That's alright. The name just means something about the River Elm. Because that's where we are. It's just up the way from Elmouth. Or Elmouth. And Lulu is dead, so let's get
Yuna here.
Yuna out to summon
Not
someone.
pronounced Amish.
No, it's Almuth and Anik. Because English place names make no sense. Just ask Norwich versus
Norwich.
Ipswich.
Oh,
Oh, yes, Anna. Yes, Anna.
the person seen walking down the street could have just been a ... gym master.
That's fantastic. That is fantastic.
Don't encourage them.
Oh, I will encourage Anna as much as she needs to be encouraged. She is my favorite. You could be my favorite too out there if you're not Anna and watching. You just need to come in and show the dedication that Anna does every week.
Make fun.
Oh, I mean, just turn up would be nice.
I turn up. Am I your favorite?
Not anymore. Anna's taken that spot.
Oh.
You can fight to the death if you want for my affection.
I don't know about the death.
Well,
I
fight.
don't
You
know
can
if I like you that.
fight until someone says "ow."
Yeah, I'd take that. I'd fight you now.
You're fading out a bit there, Chris. Do you know?
Said I'd fight to the owl.
Yeah. That should be a new phrase. Fight to the owl. All right. Well, what's Riku doing?
Well, according to Anna, Riku is our new Auron.
Oh, Jesus.
Riku is our tank.
All right, Riku. Well, gonna spend a few turns not getting anything.
Oh dear.
Anyway, where were we? We were talking about where I am. Yeah. I'm in Anik. We're in lockdown, as we said last week. So I'm just chilling. I'm still working for St. Andrews. In my post as the digital communications officer.
Very fancy.
Yeah. I was upgraded. I was just general IT support. And then we had a meeting and someone was like, "Why are you here?" And I told them what I did. And they're like, "That's not IT support. You need to change your title." And I was like, "Well, the university says I need to change my title." So I did. But yeah, we had a big week this week. We had our big energy ethics conference. Sorry, I work for the Energy Ethics Project. So yeah, we had a big conference over the course of the week via Zoom, of course, all remote. With one session every day. So yeah, it definitely dragged, but it was a lot of fun. The first conference I've been to since February, so yeah, a bit of a shock to the system having to take notes again.
Did you learn anything interesting?
Well, one of the chemistry professors today that was part of the energy debate panel mentioned that if we were to try and replace all oil for energy using bioethanol, we would have to grow crops on every single piece of arable land, including cities, and even then we might not make enough to fuel the earth.
Yeah, we can do that.
So yeah, that means no crops for food either.
So we can learn to photosynthesize.
I mean, that would solve a lot of problems, wouldn't it? Just being able to photosynthesize. Oh look, Waka can do his job.
So the takeaway is we can't rely on just one thing to replace fossil fuels, right? We need multiple solutions.
Well, that was the illustration of the scale of the issue, right?
gonna die.
You did die, Riku. That was an illustration of the scale. The other side of it, oh god damn it, Riku, was he illustrated that if we had, I think it was 6 absolutely gigantic solar arrays set up in,
I'm fine.
I think one was in the Sierra Nevada desert in California.
Yes, that is the name of a desert in California.
Then there was one in Patagonia, one in the Sahara, one in Australia, and one in the Gobi. If we set up and one in Arabia. If we set up solar arrays there, just by using 10% of the desert's land, we could power the entire Earth.
Good stuff.
The problem being is we can't actually store any of that energy. So what oil...
But that is a subject of ongoing research, right? Like how to create batteries for storing.
Yeah, but batteries are super inefficient at storing energy right now. Like, you're getting a fraction of the percentage of the energy that you kind of could take, or the potential energy that you could take in if you're linked up to a battery.
Hence the need for research.
Yeah. And not to mention that batteries at the moment are, which is a whole different problem that you didn't bring up, but batteries are non-recyclable at the moment. So all the rare elements that go into a battery are basically lost when that battery becomes defunct.
We have in the chat Little saying vegetables are overrated, and I believe that Little is the screen name of Eleanor, my co-presenter.
Eleanor was so Little was our first viewer for the Pokemon Emerald thing we did last week, the test, what's it called? The test stream we did last week.
Oh, yes.
We've already plugged your stuff, Eleanor. You can plug it, though. Feel free to plug it in the chat. But yeah, so I learned about that. What else did I learn about? Apparently people think burning peat is a good idea. It's not. Yeah, that was today. Yesterday we had a panel.
He's just my brother, and I think he would agree with that.
Sorry. Right, yes. Very good. I was trying to figure out if I'd missed something in the chat, and I was like, oh, okay.
I apologize.
I don't think I meant the Mojave, Anna, but I may have. It was a dot on a map. I just tried to kind of link it up.
I think Sierra Nevada is bigger than a dot.
No. The array was a dot on a map, and I had to try and figure out which one it referred to. They weren't labelled, sadly. Poor presenting, I know. It's actually a New Zealander, as an aside there, Chris. He was a New Zealand chemist that was presenting today. From St Andrews, but...
A New Zealander from St Andrews?
Yeah, he's working in the chemistry department at St Andrews.
Good stuff.
Should we go into Guado Salam, you think? Or are people happy just kind of hanging out listening to me talk about the Energy Ethics Project for now?
I think we can move on.
I even told you about yesterday's keynote speech. It was a Japanese presenter talking about the future of nuclear energy, and surprisingly, somewhat surprisingly I suppose, he was very anti.
Not that surprising. I'd say,
nuclear,
given recent history.
But nuclear is, I mean, in a conference that's talking about carbon emissions in particular being a problem, because a lot of our work's focused around oil.
Hmm.
A lot of the stuff that we get is nuclear being held up as this great carbon-free alternative, which it absolutely is, right?
Yeah.
It absolutely is. It just needs to be properly managed. And this guy's argument that basically, regardless of how well you manage it, there are going to be problems that are unforeseen through whatever reason.
Which is reflected in Japan's recent history, right? Like Fukushima was properly managed, but there was a massive earthquake.
Well, there was a tsunami. And I would probably argue that properly managed means not building a nuclear facility in and around
Japan?
the Ring of Fire. Yeah. It's like, it's just generally a bad idea. Like, you wouldn't build one in the middle of Auckland because Auckland is a city built on 50 volcanoes. And all you'd need is for one to go off, and all of a sudden you're not only dealing with a volcano, but you're also dealing with nuclear fallout. So, yeah. The problem
It is not going to be viable for all countries.
Yeah. And as mentioned, there are problems transporting energy at the best of times. So yeah. What I found interesting though is that he really kind of refused to comment on the time frame that he'd like to see Japan move away from nuclear energy, which is interesting because in the wake of Fukushima, you had Germany basically shut down all their nuclear power plants, and because of that, they've actually used more coal than they have in the past, like since they started using nuclear power, which is obviously less than ideal. They're one of the few countries whose emissions have increased in the past few years versus decreasing because of their reliance now on coal.
And I would like it known Fukushima was not properly managed.
Yes, I did read that. And I don't know the explicit ins and outs, but as I said, I wouldn't say that you can properly manage a nuclear facility in a site of possible disaster. So, I mean, you could probably, there probably are areas of Japan which are low risk. Anywhere near the coast is not one of those areas, though.
Everywhere in Japan is near the coast.
Oh, I mean, relative to the US, yes. Relative to like England or the UK or New Zealand, it's probably similar, right? But like out of the way of a tsunami. We're really off topic today.
Yeah, details.
We're supposed to have topics?
We have an on topic for these. I didn't think that was the point.
It's why so many people enjoy us, Chris.
Besides, we're level grinding. What else are we going to talk about?
Well, I think we're done level grinding. You told me it was a time to move onwards and upwards.
Yeah, we still haven't.
Yeah. I was talking about Hiro Miyazaki's paper. Okay, what are the walls of this place made out of? Are they roots?
Tree, by the looks of it.
Is it just one big tree?
I have to assume, yeah.
To Guado Salam. This way, my lady. This way.
Me?
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Oh,
Could have just saved a lot of time and have Oren cut him in half then.
Guado. I am in the direct service of our leader, the great Seymour Guado.
Go, now's your chance.
Seymour has
Get him.
very important business with Lady
What the hell? Killing Trimhell.
Business with me? Whatever could it be, I wonder?
Well, he's the one that says,
Inside the manor.
tells everyone that you killed Seymour, right?
Of course, your
Yes.
friends are also welcome.
So if you just killed him now, then you'd only be responsible for the death of some servant.
Twist our arms, why don't you? Ah, I almost forgot.
Not sure that's better.
Then a Maester of Yevon and the leader of the Guado.
Logically, I see the point, but like, if you commit murder in the street, I think you're still gonna be in trouble.
You know what? I think Yevon would let Yuna get away with it because she's a summoner.
You think Yuna could shoot someone in the middle of Fifth Avenue?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, I think she was encouraged to at multiple points. Unfortunately for her, Besaid only has one avenue. Is it worth wandering around looking at the city? I really have no geographical conception of where this is.
This is a very confusing town.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love this guy. Let's chat.
I tell you, these Guado merchants are shrewd. Ripping off the pilgrims that come to visit the far plane. Listen, you watch that they don't get you too. Me, you can trust.
Wishes he could have thought of it
More than a
first.
Guado.
He say, where does he say that?
Hmm?
He does actually say that at one point.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, I
I
can't
was just guessing.
remember when. Oh. Yeah, let's
Seems legit.
put that. Yeah.
New toys for everyone.
We don't need the lightning stuff just yet.
Mm.
There's a lot of story to come, Chris.
Mm.
I suppose we should just get to it.
Oh, there's going to be a lot to talk about then, isn't there?
I suppose. Into his creepy palace thing.
Mm.
Oh yeah, I
He
love
does
getting
an
turned
excellent
around.
creepy palace thing.
These are the past leaders of the Guado.
They all look the same.
Mr. Seymour doesn't
That's
look like
racist.
Don't you know? The last leader
I like how Waka just tacitly agrees too.
Mm.
wed a human woman. She was Seymour's mother.
Gross.
They don't look that similar. I mean, they've all got kind of spiky hair and beards, but you can tell there's different facial features.
No, they're all exactly the same.
Hmm.
Isn't this where there's like a creepy rape dungeon in Final Fantasy X-2?
I believe it is, yes.
Okay, just checking.
Let's stay out of
I
that.
don't like the smell of this one, eh?
What is that supposed to mean?
Stay close to you.
Does it smell inside a tree? I don't know.
Hmm.
I wonder what smells so nice.
Well, Waka thinks he doesn't like the smell. Riku does like the smell.
Kimari not like Mr. Seymour.
Yeah, I mean, I assumed that he meant, like, this is suspicious.
No, he
But now
literally...
he's referring to a literal smell.
He's literally referring to the smell.
Kimari speak no more.
Kamari's...
Kimari
Hey.
speak no more. Kimari speak no more.
Kamari?
Kimari speak no more.
Surely that's
I don't
speaking.
think he can speak anymore.
Why does he want to see me?
Who knows, Yuna? Who knows?
Hmm.
Let me in.
This way, please.
Yeah, Walker. Does Walker have any reason to be suspicious of Seymour at this point?
Only his weird thing at Jose.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Pretend you didn't see them.
I will go inform Lord Seymour.
Then pretend I didn't say it.
Please wait here.
What's the line? What is your lordship presently doing present here? Or why is your lordship presently present here, sir?
Yeah, that's the one.
There's no temple here in Guadalsalam, see? Summoners usually just pass through on their way elsewhere. What?
Titus is laughing like a maniac.
Explaining things.
You'd rather I say nothing?
People just usually pass through here.
No. Maybe you finally believe I don't know anything about Spira. And maybe
Or
that means
maybe
you
she
believe me
just
about
believes you're
Xanarkand,
clueless.
Too?
Well,
Turns out she wasn't talking to him.
No. Your Xanarkand is one of those things. I suppose I can't say what I think either way. Still, be careful. You shouldn't tell other people.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's syntoxin.
Hmm.
What kind of fruits can you see there, Chris?
Apples, oranges, pears.
Are
Those
those
lemons?
are they giant lemons?
Grapes? Maybe. There's grapes and maybe. What are the green things?
Limes. He's just got full limes. Just what a maniac! He's just serving skin-on limes to his guests. What a
Is it
maniac!
any less weird than skin on lemon?
Stay on your guard.
Why? This guy's just a priest, right?
Those with power use that power. Maesters have power.
Wait. You sure you don't have something against Yevon?
What would Orin have against Yevon?
I lived a long time in Xanarkand.
Oh.
When I was plowing your mother.
Jen,
What? I thought we decided that was canon.
did we?
I think so.
This is good.
What could it be? Oh,
Do 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 do.
Truly, it is good to have guests again. Since Lord Jiskel passed
He's got
away,
quite the square jaw, hasn't he?
halls have been too quiet.
But also a terribly
Dad,
bent
Lord
spine.
Driscoll was a great loss
Yeah.
for all of Spira.
Was this Maester
Either that
Driscoll
or a
really
large
such
belly.
great guy?
He brought the teachings of Yevon to the Guado. He was
But a
truly
belly
a
that starts at
great
his
man.
chest?
Truly a loss for us all.
Hmm.
But now, a new leader, Lord Seymour, has come before us.
Yeah, no, and I agree. It would have been a good sight gag just to copy and paste all the images so that they were exactly the same.
Binds our two
Or just mirror image them.
But that is not all, I think. Lord Seymour, he will surely become the shining star that lights the way for all the peoples of Spira.
And so Trommel becomes the worst prophet in the history.
Always endure such praise.
Must I? Oh, what a knob. Must I always endure such
Welcome.
praise?
You wanted to see me?
Please make yourselves at home. There's no rush.
Please keep this short. Yuna must.
There's definitely
rush.
a lot of cues in here that
It has been a long
this is
time
bad
since I had
cues,
gifts.
right? Like the
Lady
sinister
Yuna,
music.
this
Trammell is clearly evil.
Is the music playing, do you think?
I have to assume so, yeah. This is just the music that Seymour puts on for his guests.
Crazy. Crazy.
Then this happens.
This
Is this a sphere thing?
destruction created from the thoughts of the dead that
Yeah, it
wander
is.
far.
Mm.
It is a crazy city.
Mm.
Xanarkand?
Correct. Xanarkand, as it looked 1,000 years ago.
It doesn't surprise Seymour that Titus recognizes it.
Well, he knows about Jex, right?
The great and wondrous Machina city, Xanarkand.
Does he?
Yeah. I mean, everyone knows about Jex.
Mm.
And Jex was imprisoned in Bevel for yelling about how he was from Xanarkand, right?
Yes.
I mean, I asked it as a question. It wasn't a question. Yeah, he was.
Okay.
That's where Orin and Lord Braska picked him up.
Lady Unaleska.
Mm.
She was the first person to defeat sin and save the world from its ravages. And you have inherited her name.
Is that how names work?
It was my father who named me.
Lord
Probably.
Braska was entrusting you with a
I wonder
great
who I
task.
inherited my name from.
He wanted you to face sin as Lady Unaleska did. However, Lady Unaleska did not save the world alone. To defeat the undefeatable sin, it took an unbreakable bond of love, of the kind that binds two hearts for eternity.
What a creeper.
Mm. Yeah, this is a manipulative shit.
Well, what's manipulative is the sound cutting out right now. Like, you could have just had him lean over her like that and cut the sound rather than cutting the sound mid-conversation. It's just bad storyboarding. Not that we're unfamiliar with that, Chris.
Are we? I'm not sure, honestly.
I think in our movie-making career, we've been guilty of being involved with some bad storyboarding in the past.
Oh, I don't know that I ever have been involved in storyboarding.
Not literally, but we've been attached to projects.
True.
Including the one that we wrote a parody script for while we were filming.
Your face is beat red.
You okay?
Yeah, that might be a story for another time.
He asked me to marry him.
I assume Anna's talking about Seymour's hands. Yes, they're Guado hands, so they're gigantic.
You know what Una must do.
Of course.
With claws.
Lady Una.
Not quite claws, but nearly.
All summoners are charged with bringing peace to Spira.
Got very nice
This means
nails,
more
though.
than just defeating sin. She must ease the suffering of all Spira. She must be a leader for the people. I proposed to Lady Una as a maester of Yevon.
That makes it better.
It's no playhouse. A moment's diversion may amuse an audience, but it changes nothing.
Even so, the actors must play their parts.
Ah, clever. Extend that metaphor.
So he is thinking here of what happens
There's no need
at
to answer right
the
away.
end of the
Please,
pilgrimage, right?
Think it over.
I'm not sure if he's quite
We leave.
Lady Una.
thinking of that
Ready to
just
receive a
yet.
reply.
I'm not 100% sure what his endgame is here.
Why are you still here, sir?
Ooh, foreshadowing.
I beg your pardon. We Guado are keen to the scent of the far plane.
I'm not quite sure if his end game is fully realized here. Titus!
For fuck's sake, Titus.
He's wondering if that smell that they were talking about earlier was actually Orin this whole time. They just hadn't been in an enclosed space with him yet.
So Titus is clueless.
Yep.
But does no one else pick up on what Seymour is getting at there?
Oh, to what are you referring?
Like saying that Orin smells of the far plane.
Yeah, I think it... I don't think that they, like, it could just be a shot at him being old, I think. I don't necessarily...
He's like 32.
I don't necessarily know that they know that people can still be alive. Oh. You shut up.
No, we've talked about this before. Orin is not that old. I looked this up. Orin is 35.
Yeah, an old man.
High Summoner's daughter, Seymour, the leader of the Quadro.
Orin is 5 years
Married in the
older
name
than
of
us.
Yevon, overcoming the barriers of race. It would give Spira something cheery to talk about for a change.
Sounds just like a passing daydream, like Oren says.
Come on, let's just get on with the pilgrimage. I mean, marriage?
Can you translate that? What's everyone else hearing
We
there?
gotta defeat sin. Romance can wait.
You don't get
Sure,
romance,
the fine
you
time
know.
to lay this one on us.
Maybe it is a fine time.
You serious?
If my getting married would help Spira, if it would make people happy, if I could do that for people, maybe I should do what I can. I never imagined doing anything like this, but I won't answer till I know what's right.
Seriously?
You could always just quit your pilgrimage and get married.
Run hard there, Riku.
Go on. I'm sure that Lord Seymour will understand.
I guess so.
I am a summoner. I must fight and defeat sin.
Like Braska before you.
I had to stop myself from shouting. What's there to think about?
It's unlike
Going
Titus.
to the far plane. I'm going to
Normally
sit
he's
on
all
the line
about
and think on
shouting.
this.
Go on. We'll be right
He's trying
behind
to be
you.
better.
I wondered why none of the
He's
others
had a
were
lot of
as
personal
keen.
growth in the
Do
last
you
2
love
days.
Seymour? Do you even like him?
He's not the same man that laughed uncontrollably. Yeah, sacrosanct. Sacred of secrets.
Okay, what is the
Question
deal with the
About
far
this
plane?
far plane. When
I
somebody
mean-
dies, a summoner sends them to the far
Yep.
plane, right? So their souls, or whatever they are, they go to the far plane, right? But that's the far plane we're going to, right? And Yuna's old man's there too? Do dead people live there or something?
Yes.
Thinking those funny thoughts again, huh?
That is one of the better gags in this game.
You'll see once we get there.
So I'm guessing it's whatever the spheres are made out of, right?
Aren't you coming?
I do not belong there.
But then it seems to have proper power for Orin,
scared?
right?
Searching the past to find
Yes.
the future. This is all that is there. I need it not. You'd better be going.
You're not really going to see the dead. More like your memories of them. People think of their relatives, and the Fireflies react to them. They take on the form of the dead person. An illusion, nothing else. Well, have fun.
I agree, Titus.
What? You're not going either, Riku?
I keep my memories inside.
Huh?
Gross.
Memories are nice, but that's all they...
Right, so here we go, passing through some kind of membrane.
Mm.
I mean, I think we can just shrug and say magic, right?
Yes, but what kind of magic?
You can't see, but I'm waving my hands and gesticulating at the air. Stop.
Well, that's ominous.
It's very red.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be this red, is it? There's something screwy with the movie here.
Yeah, I think we broke it.
Hmm.
Oh god.
That is terrifying.
That is terrifying. What's wrong?
Are they in hell?
I think they're all in hell.
The far plane was cool.
That is awful.
Her parents, they look so happy together.
It's actually quite a beautiful scene in the original, but instead we got lava or blood waterfalls.
Seymour's proposal.
It reminds me of the Team 4-star joke about the blood fountain in hell.
Mm. Yes.
How
It used to be water.
It used to be water. I miss Team 4-star.
Why don't you try calling someone? All you have to do is think about them.
Lulu's talking about Elon Musk's technology. They plant your phone chip into your head. Could you imagine how awful that would be?
That would be extremely bad.
Every time you thought about them, you accidentally called them. It was bad enough with like bad phone predictive stuff.
Mm.
I get mad enough when Google Assistant tries to help me.
Yo, Chapu. Meant to come see you early.
He doesn't really look like Titus, does he?
Sorry. I know you won't hold it against me. I gave
He
up
does
the
a little
game.
bit.
I'm a guardian from here on, you know? This guy looks a lot like you. Showed up.
I mean, he's got red hair.
Traveling with him, I thought maybe.
Yeah, I mean, without the
He's
hair,
still
like just the
alive
facial
somewhere, huh?
features, like yeah, I can see.
Close,
Here you are on the far plane.
but not super
Guess
close.
your place is here. So, how you been? Oh, that guy I just told you about? I gave him your sword. He likes it.
Huh? Whoa.
I mean, this is a pretty cool. It's a pretty cool moment, right?
It is. Yeah.
And it's pretty cool that unlocks extra abilities for your sword that you don't get told about ever. It's just the abilities that it unlocks are really disappointing. Water Strike, so upsetting.
He is dead, and I am still alive.
Good.
Coming here really makes that clear. I should
Yeah.
focus more on what I have to do now.
You should.
What?
I'm not even sure what I'm saying.
Don't you mean that you should leave Chapu behind? I'm sure he was a great guy, but there'll be others.
That's a
That's a really
possibility.
callous way to put it, and Lulu
about
just agrees.
What, me? With Waka?
Yeah, you two get along great.
Well, it is
Getting
kind of
along
true.
isn't
Like
enough. Not even
he's been dead a
close.
while.
Oh,
Has he been
Sorry.
dead a while?
My mistake.
I thought it was like just a
You do
year.
well to remember that.
Mm,
Knowing
I thought
bit
it was a
about
few
women
years.
Might come in handy someday.
Mm.
yeah, I'll remember.
So I thought it was
I
before
won't
the
be
last
forgetting
tournament.
either. Goodbye, Chapu.
Mm.
You always said I looked grumpy. But those were the happiest days of my life.
You're 19, Lulu.
Is she?
I think so.
Yuna?
She might be 21.
Decided.
I'm checking
Really?
this.
Okay, you check
All
that.
Final Fantasy characters are younger than they look.
Yes.
Oh, she's
When I was
22.
only 7 years
Close.
old, in Bevelle that day, My father had defeated Sin, and the whole town was out in the streets. Everyone was laughing. They all seemed so happy. If I defeated Sin, that would make everyone happy, wouldn't it?
I sacrificed myself.
People shouldn't be miserable forever because their boyfriend
Not
died.
just what I want.
Yeah, not
Let's
forever.
go back. You gotta tell Seymour.
Before that, call Sir Jet. Give it a try.
Huh?
Don't worry. He won't come.
Trying not to think about my old man made me think about him, of course.
See, told you.
He isn't here because he's not dead. He's Sin.
Tragic.
That means he's alive, you know.
What if my old man really is Sin?
Not as uplifting
What would I
by the
say
Pope
to
to move
Yuna?
to Yuna.
Heck, to everybody in Spira. Wait, why should I have to apologize for him anyway? I'd rather never see him again.
What makes you hate him so?
Everything he does just makes me mad.
That's not true. You
It
want to
was
see
his
him again
fault
so
that
you
me
can
and my
kill
mother-
him.
Mom?
We won't spoil it, but it's pretty sad at the
It's
end.
her.
She's very pretty.
I think we can spoil whatever we want. This game is almost 20
Wait.
years old.
No one ever
True.
performed the sending for her.
She must have accepted death.
Is that
while she
thing
was
a
still
thing
alive.
people say about their friends'
Whoa
mums?
there.
She's very pretty.
That's my mother you're talking about.
I'm sorry.
I think
It's okay.
I think it's okay from
I think I just
Yuna.
figured
I
something
think
out.
it might be creepy coming
What?
from like
Why I
Walker.
hate my old man.
Whoa, hey. She's cute, yeah?
See, I told
Oh,
you
no.
right there.
What? Really?
Of course.
I suppose.
And it would definitely be creepy coming from Oren.
Well, we know what happened.
Just a sec, dear.
Whenever my old
Titus
man was
doesn't need to know
around,
about that.
my mother wouldn't even look at me. Maybe that's when I started to resent him, even hate him. When he left us, Mom just lost her energy.
Is she all right?
See there.
Why should you care?
If she dies, I wouldn't know what to do.
Don't say Mom is
When does this happen?
I
I have
apologize.
no idea.
The old lady next
Because
door told me
absolutely told you
when a lovebird
that
dies, the one left
that
behind,
Oren,
it just gives up living
Yep.
so it can join its mate. It was just
Oren and
like
Titus's
that.
mum.
I hated my old man even more.
And then he killed her.
But really, my old man...
That's dark.
You know,
just a sec, dear.
you know, I know we're kind of joking about this, but that conversation, like, when a lovebird dies, its mate gives up living, like, if you think about that applying to Titus's mother and
Oh, man.
Oren, it also kind of works.
I must sound so stupid.
Well, yeah, Oren's already dead. Oren was able.
True.
Embarrassing.
That's how dead people take your souls, Chris.
Well,
It's how he was able to survive so long without
No.
turning into a fiend.
I'm ready.
Did I?
Sex with Titus's mum.
Something?
Jen!
What? I didn't write the story, they did. Where did Riku get a ball from? Oh no, it's an apple.
Thanks
She
for
stole another apple.
I'll go give my answer to
Yes,
Maester
just
Seymour.
took it from Seymour's buffet.
Lord Jiskel! Oh, Lord Jiskel!
Zombie, kill it.
He does not belong here.
Yuna, send him.
Yuna, send
So
him.
what is the deal here? Because like the other like the spirits or whatever in the far plane don't seem to be like they don't talk or move or do anything.
He is Lord Jiskel no more. Send him now.
Whereas Jiskel seems like he's actually, you know, a ghost with unfinished business kind of deal.
Yeah, it's not particularly tightly written here, I don't think. Like, I think it would have been better if we had gone back to Seymour's mansion
Talk later. We leave
and
now.
and he'd shown up there. that makes no sense him coming out of the far plane, because the dead people aren't actually in the far plane.
I don't understand.
According to
how
what we
a man
just
like
learnt.
Lord Jiskel can die and not be sent.
I would think that he was sent once, but he stayed on Spira. Something, a powerful emotion, could have bound him to this world. Such things happen.
Vengeance.
That's against the rules, isn't it?
Well, I mean, kind of.
It means he died an unclean death.
Oh, such a long cutscene. My controller had turned itself off. Dun, 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 dun.
What does Titus say in that scene if you interrupt?
You can't, I
I will
don't think.
go. Meet with Maester Seymour.
I will go.
Yuna, Jisco is the Guado's problem, not yours.
Melodrama.
What? So, Lulu, what do you think about Yuna getting married?
Just a gossip session with
As
Lulu.
long as the pilgrimage
We
continues,
get to make some cool choices
Like,
here.
That's it? What if she doesn't even like the guy? Is that okay?
people marry for many reasons.
What's that mean?
Sometimes marriage doesn't require love, you know? Defeat sin and bring joy to the people of Spira. Get married and bring joy to the people of Spira. For Yuna, they're just two ways down the same road. All you need is determination. If you have that, you don't need love.
That's a message to all the kids out
I
there.
don't know.
As long as you're stubborn enough, you can stay in an abusive
I just
relationship.
Don't get it.
Well, I think we're set up to disagree with Lulu here, right?
No, she's right.
At least to some extent.
Nope, 100% correct.
For a while there, I was a little worried about what was gonna happen, yeah?
Yeah, the ghost could come back to life.
We leave as soon as Yuna returns. I trust you'll be ready.
Always ready, Oren. Oh, another cutscene.
Listen, if Yuna gets married, then
What?
I'll get
That
married
again?
too.
Yes, if she is to marry, I would want her to marry for love.
See?
But if Yuna said she wanted to marry the one she loves, I would have to object.
Huh? You're not making much sense.
I know.
So cryptic.
Lulu?
I've talked enough about that.
What?
I'm sorry, just forget about it.
Jeez, grumpy.
You'll understand one of these days. I just don't want to give it words, not yet.
She's in love with us too, Chris.
I shouldn't have to say this, but don't fall in love with
Yes. Which one? Which one?
Up to you. Up to
No,
you.
come on. Come on.
I don't know.
I think it only... I don't know if it affects anything. I think it might impact who you share the snowmobile with at Makalania Temple. Okay,
Very minor.
too late. You're more my type, Lulu.
Oh god, that just sounds so creepy when you say it like that. Don't do that.
Okay. Too late. How would Titus say that one, Chris? Alright, you do your line readings then.
No.
You're gonna reject mine.
I have more restraint.
Come on.
Frankly.
How do you read that one?
Oh god.
But warm up with okay.
Okay. Too late.
Oh, that's a good one.
You're more my type, Lulu.
Oh, hesitant. I like that. That's cute. I deliberately went creepy. I don't know what that says about me. What do you reckon?
I know. I think he is falling for Yuna already at this point.
So but do you deny it or do you say too late?
I think Titus is a heart in his sleeve kind of guy. I think he says too late.
I see. But you must keep your feelings inside until the pilgrimage is over.
I'll try. I don't think I've ever selected
As
that.
soon as Yuna returns,
Is she aware that he doesn't know what happens at the end of the pilgrimage?
Yes.
When we leave here, we have to go through the Thunder Plains
Oh,
next, you
I
know?
hate the Thunder Plane.
Because of the lightning dodging minigame?
Yes. Should we just try and leave? What happens if you leave without, you know? You should be able to do that. Sorry, guys. Leaving. Oh, Shalinda.
Was the Lady Summoner not with you?
No, she's at Seymour's place.
That's Maester Seymour, or Lord Seymour.
No, it's not Shalinda.
Oh, I'll be careful. Sorry.
It's Mizzle.
It's all right.
Sea Dog to his friends.
Maester Seymour left Guadosalam a short while ago.
You serious?
Thanks.
I believe he
Could have
went to the
mentioned that
temple in
earlier,
Makalani.
Shalinda.
Maester Seymour is also the high priest of that temple.
Whoa, I gotta tell the others.
Guys, you'll never guess what Shalinda just told me.
Please, tell the Lady Yuna that I am doing just...
Shut up. Shalinda's the worst. Oh, it's the Titus explaining hands.
Lord Jiskel, please tell me. What can I do to help?
She knows that they can't talk, right?
Let's go!
It's not Harry Potter.
Well, maybe his ghost is around here somewhere.
She sent him.
Yeah, but, you know, maybe it didn't take.
Again. God, I really like the Titus explaining hands. Sorry, I was just watching the stream back.
The Titus explaining hands are good.
They say Seymour went to Macarena.
I'm getting
Oh,
feedback
how
that
does
my
Titus
voice
know
on
what the Macarena is?
What I don't get is, why would the Lord Maester head off without a peep to anyone?
Maybe he wasn't expecting Yuna's answer so
That's
soon.
amazing.
Ah, that's probably it.
In my mind now,
Yuna.
Xanakin, like 90s pop music existed in Titus's Xanakin.
You're a poor liar.
It's true, it's nothing. Come on, let's go.
They have wild Friday nights out doing the Macarena. Do you remember the Macarena, Chris?
More or less, yeah.
Yeah, you think you could do the whole thing?
No.
Do you know any of the words?
How does it go? Para tu cuerpo de alegría Macarena, que tu cuerpo es para la alegría cosa buena.
Oh
no. That's about all I can do, I think.
And then it ends with, "Hey Macarena, hi."
Hey Macarena.
That's pretty good.
Across that.
It's better than I thought you'd do. I don't actually know the words. I normally just mumble and do the actions.
We head north, not too near and not too far from the towers, yeah?
Meaning we should avoid wide open
The only thing worse than the Thunder Plane in this game is the Thunder Plane in Final Fantasy X
I
2.
forgot something in Guadosalam.
Nice knowing you.
Okay, I'll go.
Yeah, I know. Dodge the lightning from Lord Gandalf. So we're gonna dodge 255 lightning bolts, Chris?
No. Not today, anyway.
Join us for next week's stream of just standing and dodging lightning bolts. And fighting giants.
Yeah, I'm getting feedback of my voice from your end, and it's making it very hard to concentrate on the conversation. Is there anything you can do about that?
It shouldn't be from my end. I can only hear you through my headphones. You sure you don't have sound on your stream that you've got loaded up there?
No, because that's a lot further behind.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. What's Skype up to? Who knows?
It only started 5 or 10 minutes ago.
I can't hear anything, so I don't know. God, I hate these guys. Oh, Riku's dead. Bound to happen at some point.
Back on the field.
Oh,
And she was killed by lightning.
oh, Waka doesn't have enough.
She just specifically told us she hated lightning, and we let her get electrified.
Electrified. Very good. Very good.
Yes, it's a technical term.
Do you know... I'll get Bron out. I don't believe that anyone can do him any harm here, so...
Maybe they'll be nice enough to heal him.
I think they have to, don't they?
Can they just not attack?
No. No, this game is broken.
Be strong.
Kill that one. Thank you. And there we go. Now it's going to just be about the slow, painful death of this elemental. It's got a ridiculous amount of HP for an elemental.
What is a normal amount of HP for an elemental?
Well, before this, it was less than that. Yeah, 1. 0.
We're not actually going to do that now,
No,
are we?
no. We don't have enough time, Chris.
Please don't make it rumble.
We're not in charge of that. Right. Why not?
I was going to ramble about the Crown Tundra, wasn't I?
Yeah, you did promise that.
I did promise that. We've only got, like, 10 minutes left, but it's time to ramble.
Yeah.
Shall I ramble?
Yeah, ramble. Ramble away. I'll listen.
So, like, I love the Crown Tundra, and I hate it.
What is Crown Tundra?
It's the DLC for Pokemon Sword and Shield.
The latest one.
Yeah.
What was the first?
The one that dropped a couple of weeks ago.
What was the first one?
The Isle of Ark, which is the Isle of Man, and the Crown Tundra is Scotland.
Right.
What am I trying to say? So it's basically it is themed around hunting legendary Pokemon, essentially. It gives you like multiple sort of side quests to go on to chase after the Reggie golems and the legendary birds, the Galapagos and the Musketeers, and the new legendary Calyrex that's introduced with Crown Tundra.
You're fading in and out there, Chris. You're very quiet.
I don't know what to do about that.
Speak more loudly.
I'm doing my best. Do I need to repeat anything?
So it's based around hunting for legendaries. There are the legendary birds, something else, and some kind of new legendary, is what I heard.
Yeah, more or less. That's what you need to know.
Yep, and you love it and you hate it.
Yeah, it's. I think that it finally gets the sort of open world feel that Sword and Shield were trying to go for with the world area.
How so?
I don't even know what it is. I don't know if I can describe it correctly. It has a really spectacular scenery. The areas of the country feel like places you can just sort of wander around and find things in, rather than just big empty spaces. It's kind of where I put this.
I don't know.
They needed the whole game to be like if that's what they were going to do. They needed to kind of commit to like the Crown Tundra. I think kind of illustrates that Pokemon is capable of a kind of like Skyrim or Breath of the Wild open world thing,
Piece of cake.
but it's also not there.
Right, so it's not there in the...
It can be done, but it hasn't been.
So you're saying it points out the limitations of Sword and Shield's original content by being significantly better at what that was trying to do.
And also still kind of having its own shortcomings. Like the story is not particularly deep.
I mean, it's a Pokemon game. How deep do you want it to be?
Well, yeah.
And especially for a DLC.
I was kind of hoping. Yeah, I was kind of hoping though that it would extend the original story a little bit. Like maybe we would learn a bit more about Zacian and Zamazenta, about Chairman, what his motivation is. Which we didn't get.
Yeah, again, we're losing you there. So you wanted
I can still hear myself just fine when I come back through a few seconds later, so I don't know what's happening here.
I can't hear you at all. Yeah, so you think the game, I mean, has its limitations. The story is not what you were hoping for in terms of an expansion of the world. Is there much story to it at all?
Kind of. Like, it is set up as you are joining this this guy who's exploring the looking very pocket, and that's basically the whole thing. And there is a bit of a storyline around the new Pokemon Calyrex,
Right.
who has kind of like a chicken deal going on because it used to rule the Crown Tundra, and now that it's gone and it's lost its powers, it's kind of dying a little bit for crops as well. And you have to restore it and save the Crown Tundra.
Okay, so there's kind of a story, but it doesn't really seem to be...
It's not super detailed, there aren't very many characters.
And does it link in with the old story at all? It doesn't really sound to.
No.
What do you think of the whole experiment, if you can call it that, with DLC at the moment?
I mean, in general, I like it because I feel like we are getting a better price for something that is more or less equivalent to the sort of additional content that we got in like Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, or in Emerald or Platinum, or the sort of third edition of each generation.
So rather than paying for the full game, you're kind of at least getting, for a lesser price, the equivalent of new content that you used to get from those games.
Let's just get out of here.
Right, exactly. And in fact, in the old days, you had the kind of excuse that, like, well, at least if you buy the extra game, the extra copy of the game, then you're getting an extra save file. Whereas now with the Switch games, you can actually just get another save file on the same tablet. You can just create another Switch account.
Yeah.
I think it's even possible to trade the Switch account. So...
But with Pokemon Home,
then
anyway, you don't need that. With Pokemon Home, you don't need to...
right, yeah.
That anyway.
Yeah.
So,
really, I mean, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, the sort of, like, I bought them because, you know, I have the blog and I need to write about the stuff and so on, but I don't think I would necessarily recommend it to.
Yeah.
They're not really much of an improvement over Sun.
Well, that was the last... Sun and Moon were the last games I played. Not for any like strong reason, just because like it didn't Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon didn't really seem to have anything for me. Right? Do you think though? What do you think that'll mean for games going forward though? Are you expecting there to be fewer? Like Ruby and Sapphire to me felt like unfinished games, or parts of games that came out that were only finished once Emerald existed.
Kind of.
So do you think there'll be less of that because of this format? Do you think Sword and Shield were complete games, basically?
Well, that's kind of a loaded question because of the whole Brexit controversy.
That aside, like, forget that discussion. If you were able to, and just kind of do you think that are they more kind of Ruby than they are Emerald? In your opinion, would they have been well served by kind of a third edition that did expand the lore a bit more and did add a little bit more to the post game, rather than having these DLCs?
I don't know about that.
Yeah, dodge you.
Good job.
So you don't. It's a tough question.
Yeah. I have issues with the story of Sword and Shield. Like, I definitely have a laundry list of things that I think could have been done better. I don't think that sort of re-releasing a slightly edited version of Pokemon Gun.
Spear, surely.
I don't think that would help. No, definitely. Have you not seen the memes? Pokemon Sword, Pokemon Shield, Pokemon Gun.
No, it's Pokemon Spear.
No time
Or
Let's go.
Pokemon Suit of Armor. And just that whole word.
Well, I mean, that's why we have, like, Pokemon Isle of Armor, Pokemon Crown Tundra, right? Sword, Shield, Armor, Crown.
Spraying at the cactus. I love these little things. Some of my favorite monsters in all of Final Fantasy. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I do think. I mean, Platinum goes into that as well. I think Platinum was a significantly better game. I didn't play a lot of that generation, but I think Platinum was a significantly better game than either Diamond or Pearl. Less. I mean, Black 2 and White 2 obviously were completely different games. So I can't really comment on that. So I guess they already went away from that strategy, as it were, of having that third
Black
game.
and White had like full sequels, and then X and Y never got anything in that mold because they released Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby instead.
Yeah.
And then we kind of came back to it with Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, which kind of really felt like a letdown after that.
Well, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, like, they weren't sequels. They were basically the exact same game with an added end game, right?
Right. Like, it's going back to the sort of Emerald Platinum model of doing things.
But doing that twice instead of once.
Yeah.
Yeah. It didn't make me mad. I just didn't understand it as a. Just didn't understand it.
Check this out.
Alright, Waka.
Well, it kind of makes sense in that there isn't really like an obvious third thing that you could add to Sun and Moon.
I mean,
and you know, Pokemon's always done this in every game.
Well, what you'd add to it would be what they did add to it, right? You just wouldn't need to do it twice necessarily.
Yeah, but I mean, what is if you call it something that's not sun or moon? What is the thing?
Eclipse. Yeah, that's probably what I would go for.
Put them on Eclipse, put Necrozma on the box art. Yeah, I guess I could see
Yeah,
it.
or just even just Ultra Space would make sense.
You see, I don't know if I would do that. I don't know if I would reference an in-game concept in the title like that.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I mean, it's not an easy one to answer, but in terms of just if your main hang-up was what are we gonna call it, and that seems like a bad place to write off the project, right? Can you imagine that being a conversation? I mean, sadly, I can.
I actually
yeah,
can.
absolutely, I can. Gotta make a new sequel. Ah, screw it. Just make them 2 games. Just make them 2. Yeah, so I don't know. I was always a big proponent for not buying this first round of games and waiting for the second round when they were. Just effectively recreating the games again with a little bit of extra content.
Yeah, and I think that makes sense. The weird thing about Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, though, is that there's a lot in Sun that isn't in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
That's weird. Like, that's just a weird choice.
It is. I kind of think that, like, you get the best version of the story of that generation by combining elements of both stories.
So what you're saying is it's a multiverse thing?
I guess.
Well, Chris,
Yeah.
if we look down at the time,
it does seem to be.
it does seem to be that time. Have you had a good session?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a bit all over the place. We talked a little bit about Final Fantasy for a change.
Details. That's not what we're here for, clearly.
Well, it's not what 2 people in the audience are here for, along with us. I think there were 3 at one stage. Still yet to see Bron. We don't know whether he's still around. But he's with us in spirit, of course, as is Seronimo and Tony, none of whom have come back to us since our second round. But anyway, as we say, it is that time. I've been Jim the Editor. Thank you very much for joining us. If you do like this content, you can join us every Friday for Final Fantasy Fridays. And if you're watching this after the fact, do please come and join in if you can. The more the merrier. Give Chris and I someone to talk to and talk about. Anyway, yeah, I've been Jim the Editor. That is Chris from Pokemaniacal.com. We'll see you next time.
Kalispera.
Okay.